Hey folks, finally it's Friday, and what a lovely day today it is in Sweden. Spring has finally arrived, we've got blue sky, and even the sun has made an appearance, which is really nice. And to celebrate, I've just bought a new car. Woohoo! Now, this was a really interesting experience because this is the third car purchase that I've made in Sweden since moving here. And one thing that I notice is that cars are so expensive here. I mean, shockingly expensive compared to the UK. So, for example, I had a BMW in the UK that I sold before I moved here. I looked up the price of that car and I would have sold it for £20,000 more in the UK than in Sweden right now. Now, I moved here over a year ago, and that, even though the fact that 12 months has passed, the car that I had, exactly the same spec, mileage, age, etc., over here right now is still selling for £20,000 more. And it doesn't just apply to, new cars, even, older used cars as well. So for example, the car I've just bought now, it's £15,000 more in Sweden than it is if you were to go and buy it in the UK right now. The same spec, the same mileage, the same age. Incredibly frustrating. On the other hand, this does have its benefits as well, because a year ago I bought a Fiat Tipo. Real prestige car this. Yeah, really love my cars, me. I bought a 1.6 automatic Fiat Tipo a year ago, and I just looked at prices for it that they're being sold for right now, and they've barely changed in a year. So although prices are high here, depreciation is much lower. And you buy a car in the UK, the car market is so flooded that you're up against everyone else trying to sell the same car. Whereas here, let's take, for example, I love Audis. I really like Audis. I searched for an Audi on the UK Auto Trader site, and for a vicinity of about 50 kilometres from a postcode around a main city, Bristol, and hundreds of cars came up in the search result. You do the same search here and you might get 30, because there are just far less cars here, and everybody's all about the green energy here and cycling and everything. And so, of course, there are far less cars on the road, and that means less competition, and that means better prices, more stable prices, and less depreciation. So I guess, although you're paying a lot more for the car here, you lose less money. You own a car in the UK for just a year and you've lost £1,000, maybe £2,000. You buy a Fiat Tipo in the UK and you've lost £2,000 after a year, maybe. Whereas here, as I said, the prices I've not really lost a lot of money on this car. So I'm really impressed in that respect. But then there's the experience of buying. Now in the UK, there's a real, I would say probably 60-40 split in the UK between traders versus private. In other words, people like me selling my car privately versus people buying them from a dealership. Now, I've made that statistic up, but I'm guessing that 60% of people buy from a dealer, 40% of people buy from a private trader. Whereas in Sweden, I get the distinct impression here that the majority of people buy from a dealer. I think that Swedes, they seem to be more ruthless with their money. They throw their money around much more. If something's broken in the house, they don't really care what they did to fix it. They just pay somebody to come and fix it. I'm not asking loads of questions and things. I want to know what they've actually done to fix it. And the same seems to apply to cars. Everybody in the world knows that you pay more when you buy a car from a dealer. You pay, on average, a couple of £1,000 more because you're getting a warranty, and hopefully you're getting a more reliable car. It's not always the case, and anybody who's in the car industry knows that there are cover-ups and shortcuts made in the dealer industry. But here, almost everybody buys from a dealer, and that means your hands are quite tied, really, because that's why the prices in general are a little bit higher. Now, we've got a dealer locally, Volvo. He's also a Renault dealer. And I saw a car on the local website Blockit, which is a good place to find cars, by the way, blockit.se. And so I went in to have a look at this car, and I walked in there and there was one guy chatting to a couple already. Now, if I walked into a dealership in the UK, that guy would immediately, if he was there alone, would say, "Oh, hi, sir, I'm sorry, I'll be with you as soon as possible. I'm just dealing with this couple over here." But I walked in and he virtually ignored me. So I said, excuse me, is there anybody else here that can help me? And he said, no, it is just me here. I'll be with you eventually. Okay. No offer of a coffee, no take a seat, sir, I'll be with you shortly. No trying to break that first experience, that first impressions and all of that. So I hung around for 5 minutes. He took this couple into his little office and disappeared. Again, no kind of politeness to say, I'll be with you shortly. So I just walked out. I went back the next day and there was another guy there and I spoke to him and I saw the car that I was interested in. I said to him, look, you've had this car there for a month now on the forecourt. It's priced high. I'll offer you this for it. He said, ha, ha, ha. Nay, absolute inte. So that wasn't happening. And I said, okay, well, are you open to offers on it at all? I mean, can you knock £1,000 off, knock £1,000 off? Or in Swedish, can you knock 10,000 krona off? No. And at that point, I'm just kind of speechless because when you're trying to sell a car, any dealer in the UK will knock money off. And they may not be directly taking money off the car. Behind the scenes, they might be reducing the warranty you'll get with it or reducing the coverage of the warranty. I've seen that happen a lot of times. And they don't tell you there are different levels of warranty until you buy the car. But here, there's just no wiggle room. Now, I've been into 2 or 3 dealers since then. It's exactly the same scenario. Even the car I've just bought, I had to literally beg and sweet talk the guy, give him a cuddle, offer to make him a cake, literally to get just 800 krona off this thing. That's about 8,000 krona. That's about £600. So it's a very, very different negotiation here. In fact, there is no negotiation here. So if you are looking to buy a car, it's a very different strategy you need to go in with. You can't do the kind of, oh, okay, well, I'll see you later. Thanks anyway. Walk away and then expect them to go, hey, sir, okay, I'll give you some money off. That doesn't happen here. They just don't care. They don't want to sell cars. They just want their salary and to go home. They don't really care about the passion for selling, which is really, really strange. Now, once you've bought a car, there's the other elements such as car tax and insurance. Car tax here is about half as much. For the car I'm buying, it's about £80 a year. In the UK, the same car would be £130 a year. So that's really nice. In terms of insurance, I always go for Landsförsäkringar, who are, from what I found, the cheapest place to get your car insured. The other great thing about this, and I love this, in the UK, it doesn't matter where you go, even if it's a company that you're already with, when you want a car insurance quote, you have to go through every single question again, don't you? Where do you live? Where will the car be parked overnight? How old are you? What accidents have you had? What points do you have on your license? Who do you live with? Are they a criminal? Do they supply drugs? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, seriously, it's just ridiculous the amount of questions in the UK just to get a price. In Sweden, you go to any website, as I say, I recommend Landsförsäkringar, type in the registration number of the car and your person number. You get a price. Amazing, absolutely amazing. And the prices here, I would say, are about the same. Because remember, it's different here. They don't price insurance based on the person, it's based on the car. So it doesn't matter, who's insuring it, really. You own it. If you own the car, it has to be in your name. The insurance is, you have to buy the insurance. But it's a different strategy here. It means that anybody can drive that car. You don't have named drivers here. As long as the car's insured, anybody can drive it, which is really cool. And the insurance is about the same price. So overall, an interesting experience. And yeah, the haggling or lack of haggling I miss because I like to strike a bargain. But here, there's no such thing. Even if you say, okay, well, I'm going to go next door then where they've got the same car. They say, okay, goodbye, hey door. Hopefully this is useful. Comment below with your experience on buying and selling cars in Sweden because I'd genuinely love to hear about your experiences. Give the video a thumbs up as well. And if you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button because I've done tons of videos on loads of different topics about moving to Sweden from the UK. Thanks for watching, guys.